Hello, good morning all.
Hey guys, good morning. Thanks, Rahul. Very good morning. Hope I'm visible, audible in the screen, and you're able to be comfortable there. Thanks all for joining in the early morning hours from India and some of you in different part of the world. Kindly confirm that my audio is good for you. You're able to hear me. Okay, you have a chat window, you can use it. Yes, Akshay says yes, Saravanan says yes. Very good. Usually in Sunday, we don't wake up this early, right? For some of you, it'll be so much, oh my God. If somebody's preparing for some other exams, chances are there. If not, Sunday morning, we don't wake up this early. And some of you sitting late in the night on Saturday night. It's crazy. Afon, thanks for joining. Good to see you in most of our sessions. Happy there. Okay, well, quickly I'll say the names who all there, ready for it. I have Riddhi. Hey Riddhi, good morning. I have Sachin. Hey Sachin, thanks for joining. Saranan is here. Shweta is here. Shweta, good morning. Vinay, and a few more if I miss it. Yeah, Magesh is here. Kimi is here. Dheeraj, Akshay. Well, good. Hope yesterday was a good day. We learned some concepts, and today we're going to start some more. Usually, we do that when we want to start the day. We will see each other and greet each other. I'm not sure how much you are comfortable opening the cam. If you are comfortable, you can open up while we greet each other. Yeah, shall we do that quickly? We'll see some of them and say to hi each other. Yep. Okay, I'm seeing Vinay. Vinay is so fresh. Vinay, you slept well. Looks good. Akshay is there. Very good. Okay. Magesh is there. Hey, Magesh. Magesh, what the kids are doing? Sleeping there?
Yeah, they sleep
Okay.
late and they get up late. That's convenient for me.
Oh, okay, okay. Convenient for your reading purpose. Good man. It's not easy. Twins, right? For you?
Yeah,
Taking care of them is not an easy job. Okay, great. Thanks for the commitment to learn. Raghu, hey Raghu. All good. Always your board is very clean behind you. Next time I want to see some flip charts on that. To do items, work in process.
sure, I'll do.
Okay, we'll use that board. As we move towards the agile, we'll use that board. Okay, Dheeraj is here. Hey Dheeraj, thanks for
Hi,
joining.
good morning.
Okay, good morning, good morning. Okay, Atul is here. Hey Atul, thanks for joining. Okay, well, good. Well, fine. I know it's not easy to come on the cam in the morning hours, but still you always made it. Hey, Magesh, is it a sunlight on your face now?
Yeah, the window is open. Is it?
Oh my 6 o'clock, you 7:30, you get such a good sun out there, huh? Maybe in Bangalore it is pretty cold in the morning.
Okay.
It's blowing much cold here. Okay, I'm considering that part. Okay, how things went on yesterday? I know we just kick-started. I would not expect you to learn a lot the first day. It may not happen. You know the human brain, how it works. It takes some time. First, it takes for time for you to judge me. Is it this is a good guy? Does he know anything to talk about agile? We take time to judge, and then we judge ourselves. Am I ready? Am I good to listen? And the third thing only, this data starts going to your brain. So good part is yesterday we touched few concepts, some of the basics. We didn't go too much deep, okay, because we had a lot of time to go. What we did is we learned what is ACP first of all. How many questions will come in the exam? Let's say 120 questions, or 150 questions or 120 questions come there, and you sit for 3 hours and write the examination. And what are the areas we have to work out? There are 7 domains to work out. So these are things which we saw yesterday. Along with that, we also understood that preparation needs certain books. So I was recommending Mike Griffith book will be a good book to read through. So certain some stuff we learned. Also fee structure we learned, how much we had to pay for the first attempt. Anything goes wrong, what's the second attempt fees? But actually we don't talk about second attempts. There are few candidates who are going to write the exam in few days. The batch which did previous to this, they completed their course only a week before. So they're getting ready for the exam for next week. So it is an indication that when the course gets over for 4 weeks of time, within next week you can write the examination. So I have two to three candidates going to write the exam in a couple of weeks of timeline. That's what you're working. So that we learn a little bit. Apart from that, in the WhatsApp group, I have given assignment. I shouldn't call that assignment, a working task. Did anybody write it yesterday or today? Anybody tried out?
Yes, we did.
Anybody? Very good. But it will be so great if you can put it in the WhatsApp group so that it will motivate another person to see that and write again. Okay, how much of time it take to write this 4 items for you? Should be 3 minutes, 4 minutes,
5 minutes, man.
5 minutes, very decent time. I'm not expecting to write all the four manifesto, but when you write it, did you found that it is the very common language explaining something very common. Did you found that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So I take it in this way, like when you write it, I would expect you to observe and write. Don't just write as it is in the paper, because these 4 lines are very important of 4 manifesto, which I'm going to talk as I move towards the classes. But for now, we will start talking about the chapter where we left yesterday, where we started with calling as adaptive planning. How in Agile the planning be so much adaptive? See, sometimes when you are in a young age, you are very adaptive. In a sense, your friends calls you suddenly, hey, can you go for a shopping? Of course, I will pay the bill. Then you say, fine, okay, I'm coming on. But as the age moves on, when you go to the age of 50 or 60 timeline, you look at your parents or grandparents, you go ask them, can we go now? Start now? They'll say, no, we cannot. I need some time to think of it. I remember in my childhood days, I wanted to go somewhere out. I called my parents, Mom, Dad, let's go immediately now, right now. The right now will not work with them. They do have a lot of commitments they have planned already. They cannot adjust. They'll tell that, no, I don't have time now. And this Saturday, I'm not prepared. Even though they're staying at home, they're not prepared. Whereas when you at the age of 15, 20, 25, 30, you're so much agile, you move forward. As you go forward, you get more planned. Here, nothing is wrong, nothing is right in both the model. It purely depends on the lifestyle, what we are. It depends on how flexible we are, right? So now why I put quote the example is we talk about adaptive planning. Adaptive is something you talk about how quickly you can change the course correction and go towards a target. And this is expected in the market. Before I go there, let's talk a few more factors and get to the topic. Okay, we have a bunch of people joined this morning. I appreciate everyone for waking up early, staying late in the night, and listening to the classes. Let's stay in the mute mode, right? And let's stay there. And maybe by break time, I would expect you to come on the cam. By the time, get ready with your facial look, right? So it is good to see. I'm not seeing most of you here. Today, let us see once and say hi to each other. It's very important for an agile world where face-to-face communication is very important. And it has become a culture in corporate. I am expecting all my team to be available on the cam. This is not about seeing who's the other side. It is about getting a connection with the people. So in my team, if anybody in invisible mode, I'll ask them to, guys, please don't do that because very important. That's a corporate. But this is a training. It's not so mandatory, but try to be there because face to face is very important. It's very, very important, believe me. Right? Okay. Hope we can see the board. Hope you can see the board. Okay, today we're going to talk August 2nd. We're going to talk about Agile. Uh, August 2nd. We're going to talk about the PMI, ACP. In ACP, we're going to talk a few factors. Okay, as I used to say that there is a customer who is looking for information or data or output something, and this is going to be done by Agile team. What is Agile team? Agile team is called as a cross-functional team. What is cross-functional team? They have mix of people. A developer can be there, a quality guy can be there, or a business analyst can be there. Mix of people join together and they start delivering value. So now when we do this, this also includes systems. Systems can be computer or third party, or could be softwares, web services, Amazon cloud server. You need more systems also. And also you need some material. Material can be called as your servers, could be your laptops, your machineries, or your office corporate location. Now these all join together hands and the output will come as a result. The result can be tangible or intangible. Primarily, it's a intangible one, right? So there is a request, output comes out. Now, point is how quickly we deliver. The quick factor goes back to a term called sprint or iteration, right? Which we use. This is a sign they use for sprint. Now, sprint is something we spin up for 2 weeks or 4 weeks. Nowadays, it's only 2 weeks. It was 4 weeks, 5, 10 years back. Now it become only 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, we try to spin faster and make it happen. Right, this happens. Now this starts giving results. So you start giving small chunk of results consistently. You start giving small chunk of results. What is small chunk of results? We start call it as MVP, minimum viable product, or MMF, minimum marketable feature. We start giving it. So this happens in a loop. If you ask, seeing the difference between the traditional model, in traditional model, the planning will be a little bigger. It won't be 2 weeks of timeline. It will be 2 months or 6 months of timeline. They call it as a phase one, phase two, phase three. If there is a metro train construction work happening in your city, they cannot give in 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks they cannot give a bridge construction work or metro construction work. Rather, what they do, they work for a phase. A phase can go for 6 months, 8 months, or even 2 years. One phase can go 2 years, 3 years. They take time and they release it. So there's a slight difference between the model what we deliver in a knowledge-based project and in a construction or a manufacturing project. So what do you have to learn here? So we have to learn a concept called Agile, which is going to spin consistently and start giving results as an output. Okay. Saying this, let's quickly see some more content. Uh, Let me pull out the slides. Okay, before I go there, is there any open question which I can help you from yesterday or from today? Is there any open question I can help you? Yeah, I can see some new names as well today. Thanks all for joining, taking the time to come over. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, a few factors we've seen yesterday. Yeah, there are a few domains in ACP for the people just joining today. Or some of you have seen the video already. Well and good. Now, what are the few factors here? 7 domains are there in ACP examination. What are the 7 domains? Those are things which you see in the pie chart. It talks about principles and mindsets and value-driven delivery. These two are a big piece of cake which you have to read. And regarding people, stakeholder, and team performance. And today we are talking here about that domain 5, adaptive planning, which is a very important area. And then we have problem detection, which is a risk management, and continuous improvement is a process and people and product improvement. They call it as 3P, where we call about product improvement, process improvement, and people improvement. For all this thing, we have retrospective, we have something called reviews, this all mix happen. So this are the 7 domains which you're going to learn in your ACP. If you come from a PMP background, it's a little lightweight. If you're coming from not PMP but CSM other certification, that's also going to help you. Well, good. I think certain things are repeated. I'm going to tell again here. This forum is to create a good, healthy network. And I also respect the people who highly have knowledge, who just started learning. We have two set of people here, right? So they may be very new. Let's try to help them if they're learning from the scratch. And if somebody very expert on it, well and good, will utilize your knowledge in the classes. So there is no who is big, who is small. Everybody on equal learn of learning. Another part is this is a good forum to share the opportunities in the market via Twitter. If somebody is coming for certification, it's just not for fun they're coming here. They're coming for their life growth. So chances are you may look out for a new opportunity. Chances are you may see some opportunity around you. So I would expect you to share some information about the opportunities in your circle to the people in the group. So chances are they may get some chances to go for a job, right? So we don't know how important the job is for them. It may be the bread and butter for them, their life, the family, right? It's very important. So trying to share some benefits and nature available around you doesn't mean that you have to go all the way, find all the job and share with everybody. No, on the way, if you see something in your corporate, share with somebody in a friend circle here, which can help them. Let's do that because growth needs cooperation and support. See, there is in management and leadership, always it works through networking. Good amount of networking, good amount of honest thought process. If somebody is only for some benefit, it doesn't work, right? Sometimes our friends reach us, right? Hey, Shriram, happy birthday, man. How are you? Great. What's up? Hey, here is my resume. Can you send to your HR? So you are for that. That will not work. Right? You should be honest on the way of helping each other. Please do that. When I talk about honest, I know most of you has a great character for preparation towards a higher level, but I always I feel that two things or three things to be kept in mind. Keep a focus on the goal which you want to achieve. Any goal could be personal, professional. Write it down in a paper, stick on the wall, and let that goal be focused. To reach the goal, I always tell that have a good character and good consistency, because so easy in this distractive world, you will get driven away. You'll be pulled away. Big ocean wave comes in, takes you away. So please spend time to get that consistency of preparation. What is the consistency? Wake up at time, read at time, read the right books, and prepare the process towards a success. I was listening to MS Dhoni's speech other day. MS Dhoni was asking, hey, what made you a better person? And he was saying that I'm not much focused on the results. I'm more focused on the process, what I follow. I was so surprised. Oh my goodness, this guy is a PMP candidate. Huh? This guy is a project management candidate. So he's telling that a process systematically approached, results comes automatically. Of course, results should be there in the mind like a goal, but a process in place. What is a process? I feel process can go back to daily small disciplines. I repeat again, it's a daily small disciplines, maybe a small exercise set of things, reading good book, waking up on time, having good food, like meeting right people. These are daily small disciplines which makes us better. Why I have to put on the first day in the morning or second day in the morning? Because this is very vital for the growth pattern. Just technical knowledge will make me to grow? No. I have seen some of my friends who are topper in college disappeared in a decade of time. Okay, of course, I'm out of college years back. I'm a bit oldie, but I have seen my friends who are the toppers in college nowhere now in the market. The reason is they lost because of lack of daily small discipline. So kindly use that as a mantra. Success is yours. With this, we'll get inside. I know morning I start with philosophy. You'll feel, oh my God, a lot of content. Okay. Adaptive planning. Well, go. I think we started here. For some of you come for the first day here, we started with adaptive planning yesterday, and there is a video on YouTube. And if you're registered with the group, you will get a video shared with you. You can listen to the video, right? So I'm starting with the lightweight. I'm slowly going to mount it. Today, I have a workshop for you. I would expect everybody to participate in the workshop. You have to do a small project. It's going to come. It's on the way. Well, good. Adaptability, I spoke about that. English term adaptability, you all are aware. We spoke about the planning, which is huge and small, differs by the project model. Guided missile, we saw some video, we saw some questions. Well, we saw some cases here. Well and good. Started talking about a progressive elaboration. Move forward. That's how we do it. Okay. Mahesh is putting a point. Recording. Yes, Mahesh, recording is there, and you will get that video recorded after session gets over. Yesterday team would have received. I'll ask them to share it again with you all. Right. Well, good. It's all your stuff in the sense once the class gets over, all the recordings to yours. You can download, keep in your computer, see anytime you want. I believe this question also we've seen it. We stopped here somewhere called time boxing. Okay. Before I started, I want to make you active in the morning because in the morning we'll be very silent, more soft. I don't want to talk to anybody. Yeah. So what is the thought process of time boxing comes to you? The moment I say time boxing, so what could be there? Just make a wild guess, put one word or one sentence in the chat window. What comes to your mind? Chat started coming up. Atul
Time
says it's
constraint.
purely time management. Well and good. Yeah, please.
Yeah,
Somebody spoke now.
time constraint.
Time constraint. Very good. That's the right sentence. Furthermore, time management, time constraint. Anything more coming up? What do you see there? In projects, in project dimension, what do you see? Time boxing. We have a bunch of people here. You want to give a try? Okay, okay. I can really sense that it's early morning. Okay. Assign time to most every task. Ah, answer started coming. Thanks a lot. Time driven delivery. I like this sentence. Definite timelines. Very good. Thanks a lot. I think we got enough information here. The moment you say time, we are going to have some limitation, right? And now what happened is why we need this limitation? That's a question. Time is there in the world, right? Okay, for me maybe not time. If I die, I'm gone, this object is gone. One more object is to come. That object is going to take another 40, 50, 60, 90 years of time. It's going to be there always, right? People say no time, no time. So okay, you move away, now some other guy will take the role. Now if that's the case, there is something called time limitation for certain things to go to the market. We call it as a market time. Right. How early you can go to the market with a valuable product is very important. Now, how to do that is where Agile comes in. In order to understand time boxing, let's see the triangle here. There are two stuff here. One you see the inverted triangle, other one is the usual triangle what we have. If we talk about a project model where the requirements are highly fixed requirement, we may not able to change it highly. I mean, you have updation, but you can't change highly. For example, if you go for a building construction or go for a bridge construction, or could be some infrastructure projects, or could be a birthday party. Yeah, you know who are the visitors, you know what time you're going to celebrate it. These are some of the fixed content. When this is a fixed content, what will happen is for that requirement, in order to meet that requirement, the timeline can expand. Is it so? You can see, right, some bridge construction work happening more than 2 years, supposed to complete in 2 years, right? How many home construction not completed on time? I have seen my family, they started for an year project, but it went for 2.5 years. I know many of you will tell, oh, yeah, that's how it is. Cost also goes high, right? See, to meet that requirement, the time and cost will expand because your requirement is frozen in a way. I want this at any cost. Have you heard this word sentence? I want it at any cost. So this is one model of project management where the requirements are highly expected to be there at any time or any cost factor. Of course, adjustments will come. I'm not saying no. At least 80% of the requirement is almost finalized. And with that only we start the work. This is one model. Still, that model exists in the world. You cannot say no, that model exists. Okay, now what next? Now we have something called Agile model. Now in Agile model, what happened is we call it as a knowledge-based projects. Hey, Shriram, what is this knowledge-based projects? Some of the IT related, some of the educational model, these all goes into knowledge-based projects. Let's talk about IT where we are from. In IT, the requirement will not be frozen. It will be so much of variable. Ah, really? It will variable? Why should it vary? Okay, I'm looking for a mobile application for a travel agent. A travel agent has to give a mobile application where I can book my travel from India to New York, or I want to go to Goa, or I want to go to some other city. I book some travel stuff. Is the requirement frozen, right? Why I have to change? If that's a question, what happened in the market is in IT project or knowledge-based project, there is a flexibility. Your requirement can go piece by piece to the market, not as a full. Okay, I'll explain a little more. If I go to the usual format of traditional model, a house cannot be used just with one washroom. A house cannot be used only with one bedroom. A house cannot be used only with the living room. A house should be properly completed. Then only somebody can get inside and start using. Whereas in IT project or knowledge-based project, even a portion of the work completed, we can take to the market, give to the customer, and make them to use it. When they use it, two things will come. One is the data, what they're trying to use, how they're trying to use. Second one is you start getting feedback. This is a very interesting factor happened in knowledge-based projects the last 15, 20 years, which was not there earlier. This is called feedback loop. Now the feedback loop is they tell that whether we need this feature, is it useful or not useful, either explicitly or implicitly. Explicitly, they'll tell, I don't like this. Implicitly, what? They don't use it. When people don't use it, what it means? They don't like it. You have to remove that out. So we have the benefit of this in knowledge-based projects where scope becomes variable. Oh man, scope is variable. Yeah, it starts fluctuating, moving up and down, up and down, up and down. Now, when scope is flexible, if you keep your time and cost open, what will happen? It will keep on expanding. You don't know when you will complete the project work. That's the reason what they did is they put an inverted triangle. What they do here, they made a time box of 2 weeks to 4 weeks of timeline or a release plan of 8 weeks of timeline. It's a time box. You fixed a time. Within this 2 weeks, within this 8 weeks, within this release, what we can get out of the system. If you don't have a time, it will keep on expanding. So they felt that let's freeze that time. Okay, well, good. When you freeze the time, you have to freeze the cost also. In this timeline of 2 to 4 weeks or 8 weeks of timeline, when 8 resources work for these many days, let's say it's a $10,000 worth of timeline. Within this time and cost, what feature you want? I want feature 1, I want feature 7, I want feature 3. This 3 can go to the market, right? Market. So this benefit comes from the agile model of project, for which technology also supporting. You use a word called DevOps. Anybody here heard about DevOps? If you heard about DevOps, just give yes to me. Let me see how many of you know DevOps. How many of you know about DevOps? DevOps. Okay. Well, good, well, good. Good amount of chunk of people. Well, good, well, good. If somebody is so new to the system, that is called development plus operations, called DevOps. Nothing but automation. Instead of one person lifting the water can and putting into the table, there is a mechanism that will lift the water can and put in the table, right? So it is something, a mechanism system which can work automatically to do some process, kind of semi-robotic process, and that's called DevOps. Okay, that's a thing. It made many people to lose the job, for information, right? Did anybody felt it? Many lost the job the last 5, 6 years or 10 years. We used to have something called configuration management team. In IT industry, there is a team called a configuration management team. Their role is whenever the software development team complete a work, they'll take the work and deliver it to the server. They lost the job. Why they lost the job? Because this automation came into picture. Quality team is also losing a job because a lot of automation. Okay, let's come a little later to that point. Now, point is, and by the way, thanks all for the message in the chat. Now, this takes the product to the market faster. Now, question is, why you have to go to the market faster, right? Now, why is a big question. Why means competition. Aha. So, Shriram, you mean for a house construction or a bridge construction, no competition? Competition is there, but still there is something called a mandatory dependency for those projects. Discretionary dependency, mandatory dependency. What do you mean by dependency? Only this happens, that can happen. When A happens, B can happen. There is a dependency because those projects involves more amount of material, equipment, third party, lot of constraints are there. So Shriram, you mean IT did not have a constraint? IT too have a constraint, but resolvable through semi-automatic processes and automatic process. Wow, that's fantastic, right? Yep. In a construction, if you do a pillar for a metro construction, the pillar to settle for 2 months at least before they keep a heavyweight slab on that. I'm not talking about your washroom pillar. I'm talking about metro construction pillar. The pillar alone will take 3 months to construct, such a big pillar. After the pillar is done, they have to put a heavy tons of weight of content on that over it. They take time to the stability of the pillar. Before that, they won't touch it. They wait for the dryness. After dryness, they check the stability, soil test. Then they keep it. There are a lot of dependency on that. So they cannot work in the model what we are talking here. It may not. But people and interaction can become agile in that projects also. That's pretty interesting. They don't want to work in a time box, but the way you communicate, the face-to-face communication is very, very important. They do that there. Okay, let's not go too much into construction now. We'll talk about the agile model in IT industry. So time boxing makes us to work in a packed time so that we know what to deliver and move to the industry. So now quickly somebody can ask me the question, hey, Shriram, you're talking about you want to deliver quicker. What will happen if I can't deliver it? Okay, you are taking 2 weeks. 2 weeks goes by 10 working days. Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday. You're telling me to deliver feature number 1, feature number 7, feature number 3. Okay. I did with the feature number 1 and 3. 7, I can't do it. What you will do? In that case, we will take this feature number 7 and push it to next iteration, which is next 2 weeks. This is an easy game, right? Then you keep on pushing. No. Customer will set the priority which they want first. Customer says that, can you give me feature number 1 and feature number 3? Feature number 1 is login screen in your banking application. Well, feature number 3 talks about customer bank statement as a login page. Only two things. Give me these two. Feature number 7 can be maybe a credit card application. We'll do later, not urgent. But these two should go to the market. So they fix a time, they fix what they want first and move forward. And this is a place customer plays a big role. For that reason, we have a proxy customer in a team. Do anybody know what is a proxy customer? Do anybody know the name of the person? There is a role for this person. Anybody aware of it? PO, they are just putting a point. PO. Okay, police officer. It's a police officer? No? Okay. Product owner, Lakshmi put it, product owner. PO stands for product owner. It's a very simple term, right? Product owner. This person is a owner of the product. Owner means not putting money from the pocket. Representative of the customer, be there, talk about it. Whenever I talk about product owner, I remember my grandfather. Why grandfather? When my dad was doing construction work by the time, okay, he was very busy. Maybe he was my age by the time, where he was so active to earn money, run to the corporate, take care of the family, take care of the kids. Dads are crazy, right? At certain age. Young age, they would have been very funny. After certain age, the dads will become so crazy, like mom also. So what happened is he was running here and there to job and earning money. By the time home construction started, a new home, every human has a thought, right? I want a shelter. In Maslow theory, it has become a point number 2. We have to do it. So now what happened is my dad was doing construction work by the time, but he don't have a time, but he had a money. Now he used to put the money, construction work started. Somebody has to watch out how the construction work is happening in the sense of time, money, material, people properly working or not. Is it delivered properly? This is all to be checked. Who will do that? There is a role called grandfather. This grandfather is a person who can visit the spot where the work is happening. One umbrella, one chair. That's it. Nothing more than that, right? One black umbrella, sit on the chair and keep watching from morning 9 to evening 5. Nice fellows, right? These old people are so nice. They have a lot of experience. They keep quiet and watching. My grandfather used to do that. And evening he'll come back home and tell to my dad what all happened that day. Sometimes fight will happen. These guys will fight each other. Right? Dad and son always goes crazy. Now, also my grandfather will give some hint what are going good, not going good. And my dad will give some more inputs to him. Next day he will carry back. Look like a product owner, right? So now what happened is I now feel that my grandfather, the role what he played at that age was a product owner. He's a representative of my dad to talk about the business and give some value to what to be delivered. Do anybody feel that slightly close to product owner, grandfather role? Have you seen something like this in your family as well? Magesh says yes. Okay, that's good. True, very true. Yeah, that's good, right? That's good. Yeah, thanks a lot for that acceptance. Maybe it happened in your family also. I don't see anything new happening in the world now. Anything we do already somewhere happened in a different form. Okay, that's what I'm trying to see. Too much long in the same screen. Let's move on. I want you to get the basement. Time boxing. There is a video I have. I want to play that video for you to get the mindset of time boxing. Shall we watch the video in the morning hours? Are you ready for it? A Tom Cruise movie trailer. Shall you see that? Okay. Okay. Many of them saying yes, yes, yes. I want it. Okay. Let's go to the screen. Oh, some more names have joined now. Hey guys, thanks for joining. Let's enjoy this Agile learning session. Thanks for being here. Stay with me. I'm going to play some video. Where is the video? Video. Time boxing. I know, so it's a pretty lengthy video, but I feel it will be worth. Okay, let me. Sharing video with the sound. It's ready. So what you have to confirm me is the AV is good. Okay, because it's going to be nearly 4.5 to 5 minutes video. The video quality should be good, but not so high definition. Let's try.
In this section, we're going to learn what time boxing is.
Are you getting the AV audio video? Fantastic. 5 minutes. Let's watch out. If you have a paper and pencil next to you, note down something. So one thing I used to tell in all my classes, it could be ACP or it could be SAFE training or PMP training. Always sit with the paper and pencil next to you. Certain concepts while explaining look like you understood. After which you go take a break, have a tiffin and come back, breakfast and come back, you'll forget it. So whenever you get some hint of it, please write down. Those hints will help us for exams, help us for implementation in your corporate. You're going to win huge money out of it, right? So please have a paper pencil next to you, keep writing down. So I'm going to play some video. Let's enjoy this. Here it goes.
In this section, we're going to learn what time boxing is and why it is so critical to the Scrum methodology. Scrum treats time as one of the most important constraints in managing a project. To address the constraints of time, Scrum uses a concept called time boxing, in which a certain amount of time is allocated for each process and activity in a Scrum project. This ensures that Scrum team members do not self-align too much or too little work for a particular period of time and do not expend their time and energy on work for which they have little clarity. Some of the advantages of time boxing are efficient development process, less overheads, high velocity for teams. Time boxing is utilized in many Scrum processes. For example, in the Conduct Daily Stand-Up process, the duration of the daily stand-up meeting is time-boxed to 15 minutes. This gives everyone just enough time to give 3 pieces of critical information and no more. What have I done since the last meeting? What do I plan to do before the next meeting? And what impediments or obstacles, if any, am I currently facing? If a team knows they should be offering this and only this information, then the meeting is unlikely to run longer due to time-draining digressions. Time boxing is also useful in avoiding excess improvement or gold plating of an item. One note of caution. Arbitrary time boxing can lead to demotivation of the team and may have the consequence of creating an apprehensive environment, so it should be used appropriately. Let's look more specifically at how time boxing is applied in Scrum. First, a sprint is a time-boxed iteration lasting 1 to 6 weeks, during which the Scrum Master guides, facilitates, and shields the Scrum team from both internal and external impediments. This aids in avoiding vision creep that could affect the sprint goal. During this time, the team works to convert the requirements in the prioritized product backlog into shippable product functionalities. To get maximum benefits from a Scrum project, it is always recommended to keep the sprint time box to 4 weeks, unless there are projects with very stable requirements, where sprints can extend up to 6 weeks. Second, the daily stand-up meeting, which is time boxed to 15 minutes. The team members gather to report the progress of the project by answering the following 3 questions. What have I done since the last meeting? What do I plan to do before the next meeting? And what impediments or obstacles, if any, am I currently facing? This meeting is carried out by the team as part of the Conduct Daily Stand-Up process. Next is the Sprint Planning Meeting. This meeting is conducted prior to the sprint as part of the Plan and Estimate phase. It is time-boxed to 8 hours for a 1-month sprint. The Sprint Planning Meeting is divided into 2 parts. Objective definition. During the first half of the meeting, the product owner explains the highest priority user stories or requirements in the prioritized product backlog to the Scrum team. The Scrum team, in collaboration with the product owner, then defines the sprint goal. Task estimation. During the second half of the meeting, the Scrum team decides how to complete the selected prioritized product backlog items to fulfill the sprint goal. In this context, sprint planning meetings are also conducted during the Identify Task process to identify tasks and during Estimate Task process to estimate identified tasks. While the sprint planning meeting is conducted before the sprint review meeting is conducted after the sprint. It is time-boxed to 4 hours for a 1-month sprint. During the sprint review meeting that is conducted in the Demonstrate and Validate sprint process, the Scrum team presents the deliverables of the current sprint to the product owner. The product owner reviews the product or product increment against the agreed-upon acceptance criteria and either accepts or rejects the completed user stories. Retrospect Sprint Meeting. The retrospect sprint meeting is time-boxed to 4 hours for a 1-month sprint and is conducted as part of the retrospect sprint process. During this meeting, the Scrum team gets together to review and reflect on the previous sprint in terms of the processes followed, tools employed, collaboration and communication mechanisms, and other aspects relevant to the project. The team discusses what went well during the previous sprint and what did not go well, the goal being to learn and make improvements in the sprints that follow. Some improvement opportunities or best practices from this meeting could also be updated as part of the Scrum Guidance Body documents. This brings us to the end of our session on the Scrum principles of time boxing, and thank you for learning with us.
Hope it's a useful one. I believe most of you doing this right in your corporate, whatever you've seen today. I'm getting yes from most of you. So do you see this as a time box, what we discussed now? It is not only about the deliverables, the way the team works, that also falls under time boxing, right? So that's the intention of sharing that video, where you get a feel that, hey, it's not only the deliverable. In order to attain the deliverable, the team should be time boxing. What is time boxing? It could be your stand-up, it could be your retrospective, it could be a planning meeting. You cannot do prolonged way. You have to do in a short way. I believe yesterday I opened up the topic. How many of us has a stand-up meeting more than 15 minutes? Some of you say yes, 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 right? So can somebody give a timeline here? What is your stand-up meeting happening? If somebody very new to Agile, stand-up meeting means people meet and talk for 15 minutes what all happened, right? I'm going to talk all these basics in coming chapters. First time I'm giving some heads up on what all things. So anybody new, don't get scared. I'm going to talk a lot of basics. You can learn from the scratch also. So now talk about what is the time it takes for you in your stand-up meeting. Give some timeline for me in the chat window. Let me see what's the usual timing. Usually it says 15 minutes, but some of them saying that. Let me see your window. Let me listen to your times. What do you take generally? Okay. 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 I'm studying window. Windows says a lot of times there. Some are saying 30 minutes, 30 to 40, 15 minutes, hard stop. Kimi Jane says 15 to 20 minutes. I think pretty decent. Some of them staying in 15, 20. Oh, Riddhi says 20. I think you guys are doing pretty job, man. Good job. But some are going 30 to 45 minutes. Vinay, due to more members. Oh, hey, Vinay, there is a question now. When you say more members, the agile team decently can be of 8 to 11 members. Do we have two teams there in one place, or it is one team itself so big? If it is one team itself so big, then slightly it is a problem. Ah, man, that's not a big team, Vinay. One team, 7 members is 7 members can be done in hardly 12 minutes. I don't think so more than that. If my assumption is right, or you have only 7 members, in 7 members, you will have a scrum master, isn't it? It goes to only 6 members. 6 members, it shouldn't take 12 minutes. If you're doing more than that, it's a status call. It's a status call. I'll tell you what happens. We come from the background of project management. What happened is we start asking them, hey Ramesh, what did it? Okay. Hey, why you don't do that, man? Every day doing late on this item. Hey Suresh, what are you doing there? Oh, okay. If you do that way, it's not stand up, right? Now they tell that stand up can go by some fixed time, around 15 minutes, where people talk on their own rather somebody asking them. Okay, I'm seeing something in the chat window. Atul is putting something. What min and max number of members should be in the Agile team? A decent size of 5 or can go up to 11. There are different numbering conventions, Atul, but generally it goes between sometimes goes with a 3 starting there, and it goes up to 11, a decent number size. Beyond that, it becomes unmanageable. When I say 11, they include the product owner and also scrum master. If you deduct that, it will become 9. So 9 could be a very decent shot of people can be there. Beyond that, it becomes a bit hard for them to collaborate. Right? There is a term in the market. They say that the more the number you go, the harder it's to collaborate for them. Right? That's a number size. Well, good. Thanks a lot for the numbers and details. Let's learn those factors as we go deep. Well, good. This is a point I want to bring out in time boxing. So when you see the picture here, the time boxing talks about what is the size of items you can bring there. So you have something called fixed capacity. Then you have something called you cannot do, you move it to next sprint, right? We do that. So what do you do? If you watch it here, iteration time boxing, fixed capacity. We will do this. That's it. If you can't do that, we'll do later. Next stop. What does not fit into the time box? Wait for the subsequent iteration. What is iteration? It is also called as a sprint. What is a sprint? A sprint can happen for 2 weeks of timeline or 4 weeks of timeline. Why 2 and 4 weeks? That's a good time a person can work together and complete certain thing rather working as a 6 months of timeline, work in a short cycle. Ideal beauty of Agile is work in a short cycle. These all I'm going to talk as a principle later. Before talking principle, I'm giving some ideas. Okay, since I spoke about time, something I want to talk about ideal time and real time. Very good. Do you like this office? These guys are sitting there. Anybody like this office? Does it look like an office or a hotel lobby? I feel it is a hotel lobby. But anybody like this office? You want to go to this kind of office? You have this kind of office? Okay, awesome, right? We love this kind of, looks comfortable. You know, certain orgs I've seen that they don't work like a boss. They don't work like a resources. They'll work like a friends. Hard to say, right? It's true as well. Imagine in this 5, 6 people, there'll be one CEO. Imagine this 5, 6 people, there'll be one senior guy, but they don't show it that way. They talk as friends, they work as friends. Those are the companies grow faster. You could have heard about Bill Gates came up from a car garage. These guys worked out. Amazon came up better like that. Facebook came up. It all started like the mindset of being more agile, mindset of being good friends around. Okay, coming out of this process, I talk about people. I generally tell that when you treat everybody with a good respect and value, not by the years of experience, but by the knowledge, the company grows faster. A person may be 25 years experience, but not having knowledge, help them. A person comes with only 1 year of experience, just college pass out, doing amazing job. Respect them. When you respect people, things move faster. I like this kind of environment where you have a fun and laugh. I know this may be a photo shoot. It was a real office or a photo shoot, but it gives a positive vibration. That's why I put this picture. Okay, let's go to this left side. Our goal is there. Our goal is to understand the ideal time and the real time. Yeah, Kimi, I know it happens. It happens. Thanks a lot for the point. Ideal time and real time. What is ideal time? Time required to complete something with no interruptions. If there is no interruption, this is a time I will complete it. That's our ideal time. Real time, actual time to complete something includes breakfast, breaks, distractions, all. If you have a paper next to you, can you please quickly write down what is ideal time, what is real time? Just write the first line on top. Ideal time says that any work considering without interruption. Real time considers with interruption. I won't tell interruption, any added works which to be done. Can you write it in a paper and give me done in the chat window? Please do that. Take a paper. Don't fight with the kids for a paper. You have your own paper. Please take it. Write it. Let me know. Thanks, Vinay. Give me thanks. Water is too much hot. Okay, done. Thanks, Prabhakar. Thanks, Dheeraj. Thanks, Akshay. Great. Okay, if you don't have a paper, you can also type in the screen, but I prefer writing. Writing is one of the best thing I do. Some of them don't like me because I ask them to write in the paper. They tell the man, you're wasting paper. I would tell, not a lot of papers, have 1 or 2 papers with you, please write it. Typing is good, but writing is amazing. It will stay with you. Well, good. Let's move on. I'm going to show some calculations also. Be ready. Formulas are coming on the way. Now, you're going to do something here. Something here you're going to do. I want you to read this yellow content. Okay, situation. You are spending your time for professional personal work, sleeping, washing, eating, exercise, family. You have 12 hours per day. Okay. Assume it will take 60 hours to complete reading for your PMP exams. Overall 60 hours. Okay, what is the ideal time? What will be the likely time? Now, if anybody missed the context, I will go a little back. I want to show you something. Okay, ideal time, I mentioned the time required to complete something, no, without interruption. 60 hours to examination without any interruption. Continuously, can you read 60 hours? Highly impossible. You have to sleep, you have to take care of the family, you have your personal things, include that will become a real time. So let's make some assumptions here. I know it's not a perfect calculation, but I want you to think of what it is, right? So make some assumptions, give me some numbers in the chat window. What is the ideal time given in this situation? What is the ideal time given in the situation? And what is next? You'll go to likely time. So let's go for first, what is the ideal time? Tell me what is the ideal time you see in the question here. Assume it will take some hours to complete the reading the PMI exams. Let me see, everybody, give a try, give some number. It's okay. Give a try. Ideal time goes 6 hours, 60 hours. Okay. Somebody started talking in the days. Makes some sense now. Okay. Vinay, how do you got 5 days there? How do you got 5 days there? Vinay and Lakshmi is putting 5 days. Can you people explain it? How you got 5 days? It'll help us. Ideal time is 60 hours. Actual time is 20 days. Or is it okay? Okay. Into 5. Okay. Prithvi is trying something. Give a try, everybody. I want to see everyone giving a try. Riddhi, Shweta, who else I have? I have other people also. Yeah, give try. I want to see all the answers. Akshay, Atul, Dheeraj, GP. Okay, give a try. Nothing wrong. Even if you make mistake, that's okay. 3 hours a day is what likely time we can. Magesh got the point. I cannot spend too much of time, man. I can spend only 3 hours per day. Come on, guys. I have a kid around me. I will take care of them. So now he started talking about the likely time, which is possible, including the interruptions. Okay, Atul is putting a calculation. You have 12 hours free from other work. Very good. So 12 into 5 becomes 60. Okay. I know for some of you still it's the birds are flying overhead. Okay, now check out this. I think some of you perfectly made it as a 5 days. If preparing for an exam theoretically takes 60 hours and we have 12 hours a day, so totally 5 days could be your ideal time. Maybe I should mention somewhere in the bracket how many days. That will make you better, I believe. Next time I'll add that. So it makes 5 days for a person to complete the work, ideally. What is a likely time? I like the way Mahesh put the point. Hey, it can be 12 hours, but I can spend only 3 hours, man. I have kids around the family. I have my personal life and professional life. If that's the case, instead of Mahesh putting 3 hours, we just put 4 hours here. So 4 hours means likely time can be 15. Right now, Is this a scenario connecting with your work somewhere? Can you connect this with your work? Do we see the work in ideal time or likely time? Just a thought. I don't want you to make a big calculation. Just tell me, are you seeing the work in ideal time or likely time most of the time? Usually, ideal time. When I say it's ideal time, we see that. Oof, oof. Seeing ideal time is good or bad? Is it going to be risky? Is it going to be a little risky? Riddhi, Lakshmi says bad. When I say it's bad, Mahesh says getting work done is likely time itself is difficult. Mahesh says, man, likely time itself won't work properly. Okay. Mahesh, thanks for being so practical. But as you go higher and higher in the cadre, like a manager or agile leader, you should have some calculations in place. It's not a 1% calculation. Team is going to calculate. I'm seeing everybody saying risky. Really good. Thanks for the answers. I'm not calculating the risk proportion here, but I'm trying to get a mindset. How do we calculate? Nothing wrong here. We're trying to see the time boxing, including all. When it's a time boxing of 5 days or 10 days of an iteration, it includes a likely time where you have your daily stand-ups, you have your grooming sessions, you have your iterations, you include those time also. You can't tell that a guy is sitting in the seat 8 into 10 days, 8 into 10, 80 hours. 80 hours, can't you count with this one user story? No, it has a dependency, right? It has a testing time, it has other factors also. So keep mind thinking in this direction also. Anyway, I will take you to a different place of calculation. Don't worry. This is just to give a feel of for you. If you understood what is ideal time, what is a likely time, I'm fine. There you can be happy. We have 15 more minutes to go for a break. Post the break, I'm going to give some work for you to do some activity, right? We didn't learn everything here today, but we're just giving a highlight for you. But I want to do workshop. Through workshop, I want you to learn things. That's going to happen. So be prepared, have a pencil paper next to you, wash your face, get ready for coming on the camp to do the stuff. Since I'm saying camp, don't run away. Oh, no camp, I'm not coming. It's okay. If you don't come on the camp, that's fine. But still, you should be in the workshop. Quickly, next 10 minutes, I'll spend some time on sizing. Sizing is a big factor in Agile. Why? Because we use something called relative sizing. What is relative sizing? If I go and stand near this board, Shriram is smaller than the board. Hey, you smaller? Oh man, you look bigger. Oh, is it? Okay, yeah. Shriram is a bit bigger than the board. Okay. It gives some relative sizing, right? If I go out now, your friend is asking, Shriram, we saw a board in your room. What is the size of it? Actually, it was a bit lower than me. Okay, one level lower than me. You calculate that way. Many a times you would have seen a mom getting a T-shirt for your brother or yourself. She will ask the store guy, "Hey, can you get a T-shirt for my son?" And the store guy will ask, "What will be your height of your son?" You should be something like you or little over than you, or something like this guy. Okay, make some relative sizing to show that what it is. Now, why this topic coming up is there is no perfect calculation in the sizing. That first you have to keep in mind, because you cannot go with a perfect world. It will not happen. So somewhere you have to fix a size, a minimal size, and from there you have to start making it relative. If you watch out your house, the point number one, house, and this goes by, right, some size here. Okay, let's say they given a point as 8. How they decided 8? They thought in this group, the point house can become 1. That's a starting point. How they decided? If I have something smaller than that, I'll give 1. But for now, I have houses, so smaller one. I give 1. If I give 1 here, I can now relatively start making sizing. We'll learn it. As you go deep, you will learn about the factors. I'm just trying to tell you, sizing is one interesting factor in Agile, where they make a smallest one first. From there, they start putting different size. But sizing does not happen just like that. You work out on the complexity, the risk involved, and also some of the uncertainties involved in that. Uncertainty, risk, and we can talk about the complex, breadth, width, all we see there. Let's talk a little later on this factor. First, let's understand in Agile, we use something called sizing, estimating, and planning top of that, right? I'll show some factors for you today. Something in the chat, let me see, who's that? 8 months, okay, yeah, that's right, great, thanks DP. Let's go a little more. Now, I have a video which talks about Agile estimating and planning. Let's see this so that we'll get some ground idea what they do in estimation, right? Because in Agile, the estimation is a big stuff, actually small stuff. Why it's a big stuff is we have a different model of project management happening in the world. Some they go with the mathematical calculation, some they go with the historical information, some they go with the people's mindset and thought process. Now, these estimations are the word. Nothing is right, nothing is wrong. You cannot tell it's perfect. No, you cannot say this is wrong. Everything has its own way of estimation. What you do as an estimation in your culture, in your country, will be different from another culture, another country. So you cannot tell that this is wrong, this is right. So we're trying to bring some common ground of estimation. Let's watch a video. Are you good for the video? Are you ready? Are you ready? Shall we do that? Well, good. I know we love videos. We love videos. Let's go. Okay, let me bring out.
So let's talk about how to pull all these ideas together into an estimating approach that works. The technique is called planning.
I'm going to share this content coming up. Oh, I didn't share the sounds, sorry. Share sounds, all good. Something in the chat window, no video coming, I'm here to play Magesh. Magesh, I know you're so eager, wait.
So let's talk about how to pull all these ideas together into an estimating approach that works. The technique is called planning poker, and it's loosely based on the Delphi and wideband Delphi approaches that date back to the Rand Corporation in the 1940s. In planning poker, each estimator, which should be everybody on the team, is holding a set of cards that contain the numbers the team has agreed to use as their estimates. Normally this will be the modified Fibonacci sequence, but that's really up to the team. The product owner reads a product backlog item, usually a user story, to the team. The team and the product owner discuss the item. Team members ask questions. The product owner clarifies expectations. This can be as short as a few seconds, but it can take as long as needed. Once each team member has decided upon an estimate, they pull that card out of their hand, holding it so no one else can see it. When everyone has picked an estimate, the cards are revealed all at the same time. If everyone is holding up the same number, we're done. Write that number down as the estimate and move on. But if the numbers are different, we discuss it and then estimate again. Let's see an example. During the first round, our estimators hold up a 3, 8, a 2, and a 5. At this point, I really want to hear from the outliers. Why an 8? Why a 2? Anybody can talk, but in this case, I would really want to hear from Vadim and Ann. Vadim might say, well, I'm the tester on this project, and this is going to be really hard to test. I need to build a new test framework, and so on. Ann says, well, Vadim is right. My 2 is too low, I'm going to come up. But I've programmed this type of thing before, and it's not that hard. So I'm coming up, but not all the way to an 8. Anyone can talk at this point, but I especially want to hear from the outliers. After anyone who wants to has had a chance to talk, each team member again picks a number from the cards in their hands. And then all at once, the cards are revealed. This time, let's say we get 3 5s and an 8. At this point, I'd ask Chris with his 8 to give us an impassioned plea for why 8 is the right estimate. I was with a team a little while ago that had all 8s except for one 13. I asked the guy with the 13 why. Boom, boom, boom. He gave 3 good reasons why he thought it was a 13. And on the next round, everyone switched to agree with him. So notice this isn't a vote. We don't say that the majority rules and pick a 5. We keep going until we get to a consensus. The consensus may be a little false, but that's okay. Suppose we go another 2 or 3 rounds with Chris holding up an 8 while the rest of us have 5s. At that point, I'd probably ask Chris if he thinks we've heard his arguments, but that we just disagree. If he does think we've heard him, he will eventually fold and hold up a 5. I'm okay with Chris folding. After all, the difference between 8 and 5 isn't that great, and we're pretty far up the effort accuracy curve we saw a few minutes ago. Now, if Chris had been holding up a 100 instead of an 8, I wouldn't want him to fold. If we're that far apart, we're probably facing one of two problems. One, product uncertainty, which is the product owner saying something like, "Good question. I better run that by some users. It could go either way." Or two, technical uncertainty, which is when the team thinks that doing the user story will be easy if they use one particular technical approach, but hard if they take another approach. So whether it's product uncertainty or technical uncertainty, if the estimates are hopelessly far apart, put the story aside, do the research, and then estimate the user story next week or whenever you get together again. Or consider using a range if reducing the uncertainty will take more effort than you want to or can invest. If team members ask the product owner what type of bear, koala bear or grizzly bear, and the product owner can't say, your best option is to write down 5 to 100. One challenge with relative estimating is how to get started. My recommendation is for team members to look at the product backlog and find something they want to call a 2. Don't play planning poker quite yet. Just find a 2. Something small, but not the smallest. I don't want you to waste time doing a bubble sort on your product backlog looking for the smallest item. Instead, someone on the team points to one user story and says, "That one's a 2." Team members can argue if they disagree, but they keep at it until the team finds one user story that everyone can agree is a 2. Then look for a 5. Remember, we're only really good across one order of magnitude, so finding a 2 and a 5 establishes us a good baseline across most of that order of magnitude. I don't really care if you find a 2 and a 5. Maybe you find a 1 and a 5, or a 2 and an 8. Any of those is fine. The idea is just to get a pair of numbers that everyone agrees on and then start playing planning poker.
Hope that was a good one. Do anybody using planning poker in your projects? Do you feel that? Okay, yeah, hey, Shriram, that's what we do. Anybody here using planning poker in your projects? And you feel that, hey, this is connecting to me. Ha ha ha. You all saw the video. What's the takeaway? Just want to listen from you. What's the take from this video? What you got as a key point on sizing? I know I have a lot of agile people here. Common ground, well, good. What is the thing they did here on, okay, understanding consensus, relativity, estimation by involving the team. I love that, Prabhakar, superb, I like it. Discuss and come with a common agreement, common, Atul putting again the same, good one. Sumit says counter question to understand logic of proposal. Yeah, that's very interesting, right? But there is no great mathematics being used here, if you observe it. Not a big math here. It's a logic, which Sumit is putting the point. Logic is not there, right? Now, how do they find the smallest one? You have to start somewhere, right? How do they find the smallest one? Somebody will pick up, right, in the team. Hey, that could be one. And collaboratively, they agree. Yeah, that's right, Mahesh. They agree. It's okay. It looked like 2. How do you want to talk about it? Talk about it. Right. That's how it goes. But again, they're going multiple rounds. If you observe it, they were not just like that. Okay, everybody gave 2. Everybody said 3. Everybody said 5. Let's go for it. No. You may go for rounds of discussion to come to the common ground or common agreement, like what Atul is putting there. So you come to the common ground to understand it. Now, how this happens is purely on the person's ability to understand it, and also the product owner should have or would have explained it well. What do you mean by explain, Shriram? You have to understand the story. What is the story, Shriram? Story talks about the requirement, which is we're going to see now. How a story comes out is it comes out of from the feature, what we want to deliver. A story which is understandable, which has a detail, helps people to estimate properly. Beyond that, team 2 has a technical stuff. I'll talk like this. I'm calling a wood carpenter to my home. I'm asking him to fix something, let's say, in this board, the side lock is broken. Okay, I'm asking him to fix this whole carpenter. Now, I'm telling the user story to him. Hey, kindly fix this side lock. I have a session on the Sunday. I have to make it happen. Now, I have a user story. I want this Functionality, it should be fixed. Benefit is Sunday I have a class, right? This is a user story. The guy who's listening could be the guy who's going to do this work. Now, the person understands the story when I'm explaining or ask more question. Sir, what kind of lock you want? You want the same hash color or black color? It should be curved, lot of stuff. We understood this stuff. Now, his brain start processing. What his brain will do is, this carpenter working in this model of board earlier, may or may not, and his data in a brain start processing his own data in the brain and his technical ability. A person, a carpenter, doesn't become carpenter overnight. To become a carpenter, you need to practice for some years of time. They do a junior carpenter, senior carpenter, they have a role there. Let's imagine this guy is of 10 years of experience carpenter. Now the story, what I said, his own experience of 10 years and the tools what he carry with him and the equipments available in the market, these all come together and he will tell, so this can be done in 5 hours. Or if you come from the knowledge-based projects, you call it as a 3 points or 5 points, not by hours, right? So you tell that, sir, we can make it happen. Now let's not talk about the numbers here, but I'm talking about the estimation coming up from the mind. The estimation comes out of the story, how it's explained with a clarity, and also the person's ability and knowledge of understanding, and also the technical tools and techniques available in the market, all combined together. Something I want to do in Azure cloud, but I don't know how to do Azure cloud. What do you do? I'm so expert in Amazon cloud. If you're Amazon cloud very expert, doesn't mean that you can be expert in Azure also. You may not, right? So now I cannot commit it. I will tell I need some time. I may have to go for a spike to see how it will work. Then I'll make a call out of it. And that's going to help us in this place, right? Again, I'm not pressing too much on the numbers here because in Agile, they don't press too much on the numbers. They believe the person who said that. Why? Because in Agile, we have this ground system that trust the people. There is a principle I'm going to share you as an assignment. For next 1 week, you're going to write it. There I'll tell you have to trust the people. What do you mean by trust the people? Your explanation you get from them, but also you trust what they do. If they don't do, what will happen, Shriram? Man, I trusted him. That guy can't do it. It's okay. It's only 2 weeks of cycle. A person learns in 2 weeks. Next 2 weeks, go be a better person. You're not doing for a 1 year, right? Oh my God, 1 year is gone. No, only 2 weeks. You do that. When you do some mistakes, you can learn. Can someone tell me where we do this learning in a 2 weeks cycle? There is a term we use and we meet for that purpose. Can someone tell me where we learn what can be improved? Akshay, that's right. Prabhagar, that's right. Sumit, that's right. That's right, perfectly. Retrospective is meant for it. It's a team improvement. It's not individual. Team improvement. Better we guide each other, right? That's how they do. We do, right? If you see any cricket or football match, these guys will join together, put the hands, huddle. They start talking to each other. Hey, do this, do this. Strategy will be there. Suddenly the team is not going well. They put the hands together and talk to each other. Guys, we have to replan this way. It's kind of looking yourself as a friendly way. That's going to happen. Well said there. Thanks for the answers. Let's move a little more. Oof, man, break time has come. Shit, time is running faster. Oh, before break, I'm sorry, you have to answer this question. The cat is asking you. Please look at this question. Help me with an answer. I want everybody to answer the chat window. I'm seeing only 4 or 5 answering. I want everybody to participate. Kindly do that. Your team is averaging 40 story points per 2 week iteration. They have 20 points worth of functionality to left. How many weeks it can take? If anybody totally new to Agile, just wait for the answers to come. If you know that, try it out. I know some may be very new. You have to kickstart learning. Give a try. Let's see what's answer coming up. The question is how many weeks? How many weeks? Okay, so you have to calculate carefully. Carefully, you have to calculate. Show me the calculation, not only the number. Please show the calculation. Hey, Prabhakar, guess. Prabhakar made a guess. Okay, show me the calculation, not the numbers. Show me the calculation. Okay, Dheeraj is putting, I have 200 items to complete. If my team can complete 40 items per week, what's going to happen? Per 2 week, what's going to happen? Julius is saying 10 weeks of timeline. Okay, I'm seeing Raghu has put a right calculation there. Just look at Raghu. Raghu says that if a 40 can be completed in 2 weeks, it may take how many iteration? It may take 5 iteration. Per iteration, we have 2 weeks. So it can go 10. I believe you got the answers. Abdul is putting a point. 20 story points per week, hence 220 to 10 weeks. Oh, you're going by per week. Okay. Great. Mafan is putting C. Great, Mafan. Good answer. Why somebody's going for 5? Any, you're going for 5. Why you want to go for 5? How do you got that calculation? Is it a guesswork or it's something you feel that's right? Let me listen to you if you have an answer. Okay, let me put the calculation on the screen. Felix also going with 5. Oh, Felix, why 5? What's happening? Guesswork. Okay, can you read the chat window message of others? You may get some idea. Look at here. This team is capable. The team, when I say it could be of, by the way, every question we learn some concept. Okay, let's learn a concept. There is a team here. This team includes developer, quality, all will be there. We call them as a agile team, bunch of people. I'm putting only 3 here, bunch of team. Now this team's capacity means strength. They can lift 40 kgs. Okay, I'm just giving by kg. So they can lift 40 items per iteration. Yeah, iteration, I'm putting in the sprint look, an iteration. Oof. I'm trying to draw. Okay. Okay, an iteration which can run for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, this team has a capacity of completing 40. Now let's talk about the backlog. Backlog may look like this. It's a visual depiction. A backlog is a stack of items. In this, we have 200 items to complete. If this team can complete 40 items in 2 weeks, how many weeks will take to complete the 200 items? That's a question. The question is asking how many weeks. But we will not talk in weeks. We'll use a language called iteration. So what the team is saying here is, okay, it looks good. We have something like 40 per 2 weeks, right? So 40 per 2 weeks means how much a calculation will happen? So it has to go with the calculation of, if a 40 can be done, if you have totally 200 to be done, if you divide it by 40, it gives me an answer in 5 iterations. I can complete it. Iterations, 5 iterations. I think this answer should make sense. If 200 is totally balanced with me, if you can lift 40 kg per iteration, it will take 5 iterations. It means 5 times I have to lift so that I can complete 200 items. Very good. But the question is not asking that, right? The question is asking how many weeks. Now, if it is 5 iteration per iteration, 2 weeks. If you put that dimension, it becomes totally 10 weeks. If anybody went on the guess, now you may get the answer, right? So if the question is asking how many iterations instead of week, they ask how many iteration, then some of your answer will go to 5, right? If it is asked a week, then it will go to 10. If that's a case, that's well good. If they ask how many days, I don't have an answer here. It's not that case. I believe somebody went on the guess, you got the answer. Somebody new to Agile also got the answer, right? Very good. Did you got it? Annie, you got it. Felix, you got it. Well and good. Well, that's pretty good job there. We have some more items coming up on the way. There it goes. Look at the calculation. By the way, these videos are recorded videos. Anytime you can listen. If you feel you're missing the context, you don't follow it, you can see it again. The videos will be shared with you, don't worry, but still have the habit of using paper, pencil writing. By the way, there is something on featured topics I want to talk, but I'm drilling you for the last nearly 1 hour, 20 minutes. It's unfair. I have to give a break now, right? So let's take a break. Before going to the break, is everything going good for you? Are you feeling comfortable on the learning process? Or you're learning something in the morning. Okay, your brain is getting active. Well and good. Your parents will be surprised to see you. My son and my daughter waking up early and learning every day. What's happening in this world? You have to tell them that this is a pandemic time. We will learn like this. Right? Okay. Thanks a lot for waking up early and listening to the session. Now, take a 15 minutes break. Complete your breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Come back. We'll start some workshop. I'm going to give some workshop. Get ready with a paper, pencil, come here. We are going to do something on a sample project. I have a project. I want you to work as a team, not individually. When you work as a team, your learning will be exponential. It will be so fast because some people know Agile well. Some people have started to learn. You're going to mix together and discuss and do the work as a team, right? I'm going to split into two teams. Let's take a break and come back. We'll catch up. Prabhakar, coffee early morning, man. It's 5:30. I believe you have to open your fridge, take a milk, get ready. Okay, good, do that. We'll catch up. Hey, I'm putting a timer. Don't worry, I'm putting a timer. You will get it. Hope you got the timer. There it goes. 15 minutes, 1-5. Time ran faster. Hope you all had a breakfast, coffee, tea. You feel good? Welcome back again. Thanks a lot for staying there. Do I miss anybody? Is all good around? Most of you good around there. Very good. Great. Thanks for being here. And let's kickstart the program. If you're good, available. Prithvi says too early for breakfast. Okay, Prithvi, what's the time that you said? It should be in the morning. Early, yellow time for you. Prabhakar said 5:20. What's your time, Prithvi? 4:30. Oh my God. Which city you are, Prithvi? Sorry, I missed it. I remember, don't remember it. Which city you said? London you are? Okay, yeah, you mentioned it. Okay. So early morning. Pretty early. 4:30 you can't eat anything. Only you can make a cup of warm water that makes you better. I have to catch up a couple of bread slices. I feel better because I need it in the morning. Okay, well and good. Thanks a lot, and appreciate again for waking up early, staying late. For India, waking up early 7 is so hard, Why? Because Monday to Friday, we are used to work with most of the US based organization, which we have to sit late, right? So now sitting late has become an habitual for the last 15, 20 years. And suddenly, if you want to make these people to come up early in the morning, it's getting a little tough, right? That's what's happening. So we become a night guys. Okay, the other day I was talking to my peer guy from Montreal, Canada. He says that, Shriram, you know what? I become a night guy, man. I wake up the whole, he's a Canadian guy. And he says that I used to be late in the night, but I got to wake up in the morning. And they say I'm going to migrate to India, where like India policy of staying late in the night. I had to tell them, no, that's not a good healthy stuff. How many of you agree that yes, most of the time you go late in the night, you sleep by 11, 12, but again, morning you have to start acting. Yeah, many of you should say, yes, that's my life. What to do? That's the nature of life, what we got now. Let's move to the subject. Where is the content? I have a few more content because before that, after that, I want to put you into the workshop. I'm just going to talk some more. Oh, timer, timer out. Here it goes. Well, good. Let's get started. So what we're going to start here. Something on a decomposition I'm going to talk. When I say decomposition, there is some picture which I put here. And okay, before I'm going there, kindly confirm audio, video, and my screen is visible. You feel comfortable, good there. Yes, all three. Thanks, Vinay, for confirming. Okay, fantastic. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Now, when you look at the screen here, I have few content written down, but your eyes would have gone to elephant. You want to see elephant. You all like elephant, right? We all like elephant when it's in the video, but don't want to see in person. When it comes closer, you don't like it. Okay. Now, there is something called epics. Epics is something, a big size of work to be completed, to be honest. And the epics can be further divided called as a features which to be completed. A feature can become a story can become a task. So let's take an example of an epic. I take a banking application. In banking application, credit card processing can be an epic. In credit card processing, features like collecting a customer details can be a feature, right? In customer details, creating customer profile can be a story, right? Creating customer profile can be multiple subtasks, right? A profile will have a screen which has a lot of details to be collected, and feature can be as registering the customer. It is not a one story, right? Multiple stories will make one feature, right? You have to do that. What do you mean by multiple stories? When I say multiple stories, collection of work will make it. Let's go by layman understanding. The layman understanding is something like a big chunk of work as packet, and this packet further divided as a decomposition. They use a word called decomposition. Decompose talks about putting into pieces. What do you mean by putting into pieces? See, I cannot take a whole chunk of work at one time and do it. I was talking about fixing this board. When I want to fix this board, could be an epic from that person's perspective. And later the person will divide into piece by piece. So at first I have to do this, second I have to do that, third I have to do this. Shriram, did you say first, second? Is there any sequence here? No sequence here. Here it goes by priority. Here they use a word called priority, which you want first to be done, right? Because market decides it. Now, market along with the product owner they decided, but I want you to understand that we use a term called epics, we use a term called features, we use a term called user story, and we use a term called task. If you're coming from the project management world, where more number of domains play with a term called WBS, work breakdown structure, where they use a term called control account. They use a term called work package. A work package further divided into activities. I don't see a big difference except the naming convention. But something very interesting I like here in Agile is user story. Why we like user story? Because user story has a good form of information where any layman can understand. Shriram, what is this user story stuff? When you see user story, before I go to user story, I'll put a word. There is something called theme at the highest level. Sometimes we call it as a strategy. Okay, what to be done at the high level, and that becomes an epics. Epics becomes a features. Features becomes a story. Story become a task. It's up to you how much you want to divide. But I like the user story very much. The reason being is it follows three key parameters. It follows a parameter called role, R-O-L-E, role. Who is going to use this? It follows something called functionality, what actually it should do, and benefit out of it. Please write out the paper next to you. Three parameters to make a user story really well. One is role will be there. Two, functionality will be there. Three, business benefit will be there. As a project management coach, I want this board to be fixed, which can be used for this weekend session. So I will have the role as a coach, what I'm going to play with this board. I'm not a spectator, I'm a user of this board. So a role, functionality, what need to be done on that, and benefit, what is the outcome of it. If I know who is going to use, if I know what is the outcome of it, my way of thinking will be really good as a product owner and also as an implementing person. I don't want to talk only development team. Don't think software means only development team. Sometimes I get a feel like that. Most of them talk only for the development team. What will happen to others? You have the business analyst, you have the quality people, you have the product user, you have an end user, you have a migrating server component teams, server systems team, a lot of teams over there. Everybody should understand, right? You can ask me, why should everybody understand the story? It is something, a common transparent window. We use a word called transparency. I'll talk this when I go to Scrum methodology, because we have to talk a lot of methodologies in next coming weeks. We have to talk about Scrum, we have to talk about XP, I have to talk about Kanban, I have to talk about Lean, all on your way. Get ready. When you go there, there is a keyword they call as a transparency. It should be visible. You should understand what it is. Can you give me a done as you write down? A user story will have three key points. One is a role, functionality, business benefit. Please write in a white paper and let me know you are done. I'm going to put you mute if there is a background sound behind you. Well, good. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. You can choose a window message. When you type a message, there is option as everyone in meeting, right? Rather going private. Some of your messages coming only to me. You can put it that way so that your answers can be viewed by everyone. Well, good. Thanks for staying in mute. I know sometimes it gets auto unmuted. It's a problem. Okay, well, good. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's move a little more. Now, what happened is you understood how the story works. Now, I will show some more content before I take to a workshop, because workshop, I want you to be a little clear. If not, you'll get driven away. Okay, here I have given a situation. Now, I want you to write a story for this individual in the chat window. Look at the situation. On the top, you see as a role, I want functionality so that there's a benefit. As a movie online customer, I want to search movies by actor so that I can more easily find the movies. Now, what I want to tell you is take any one item in this list of three and write a story based on the role, functionality, and business benefit. Once you complete this, I'm going to take to that workshop. Now, try writing based on the role, functionality, business benefit. Choose any one of this, right? Okay, code the system to support banner advertisement from external advertisers to drive website revenue. There is a website where you want to have a code the system to support banner advertisement. In the websites, have you seen there is a place where they have a advertisements keep on running. So something like that going to come up. So think from user perspective, think from business perspective. You can write the user story in any form. Which form will go to market and give faster output? You can decide. You can talk as a company owner, or you can talk as a developer point of view or business point of view. Try out. Even if you're wrong, that's fine, but try out. Write in the paper next to you, type it in the screen. Let's see in the chat window. I'll repeat again. You're going to write some user story for these three scenarios, either of one you can choose, and write with three parameters: role, functionality, business benefit. Give a try. Shriram, I'm not a guy write this. My business analyst will do that. My team will do that. It's okay. Give a try to see your level of knowledge. Nothing wrong. Give a try. Magesh is so fast, man. Magesh says, Magesh, by the way, is it the first one? Oh, yeah, the first one. Please tell the number, okay, when you put it 1, 2, 3. As a website owner, very good. I want a banner advertisements to run on side of page functionality so that I can generate revenue out of it. Magesh, straight to the point. Okay, great. That's a point. So, okay, that sounds good, right? It has a three things: a role, functionality, business benefit. We are not looking for perfection here. We are looking for your mindset of thinking a user story, right? Good, Magesh. You're a front runner. Thanks for setting the benchmark. Let's see from others as well. Give a try. Give a try. Even if you're wrong, that's fine. Give a try. Okay, Akshay came out now. Akshay says, a website owner, I want to have an area in website to support banner advertisements from external advertisers. It's going a little more elaborate. I like it. From external advertisers. So that will lead to the website revenue generation. Very good. Very good. You can go elaborative also. Nobody stops you. Functionality, you can go elaborative also, right? The story can expand a little more clear. Fantastic. There are 3 more items also. You can give a shot if anybody want to. Let me see a couple of more thoughts here. I know some of you are expert in Agile for a long time. Give it a shot. Nothing wrong. Let me listen to some more people here. Okay. Julius, would you like to give a shot? Mafan is here. I said Lakshmi. Okay. Okay, I'm not just pulling your names. It's okay if you don't have. If you have, it's well and good. Even if you're wrong, that's fine. Okay, there comes Raghu. Raghu took which one? Raghu took third one. As a financial manager, I want all the financial transactions should be handled via secure system so that the data leakage can be prevented. Makes sense good, right? Because our theory and the thought here is all financial transactions should be handled via the secure system. So it has one statement, but Raghu made it with the role, made it with the output. Vinay is putting third one. As a bank manager, I want all transactions to be handled via secure server to provide our customers with assurance. He put a customer with assurance. Well, good. I like it. Okay, well, good. Answer starts coming up faster. I like it. Let me read Vinay. I want all transactions to be handled via secure system to provide customer with assurance. It's very good. Prabhagar says, as a product owner, I want external advertisements to be displayed on my website so that we can increase our. Very good. as a user, all my financial transactions, she's putting the word all, should go through secure service system so the transactions are protected and secured. Okay, well, good. Magesh is putting another one. As a security consultant, I want all financial dealings to go through secure encryption so data is safe. As a security consultant, okay, he's looking from the perspective of the security consultant. Some look from the customer perspective. Well, good. Riddhi is saying, as a developer, I want code system to support banner ad. Wow, that's also a good idea. Look at the way Riddhi put. Riddhi is saying that as a developer, I want a code system to support banner ad for external ad to generate website revenue. But when you talk about from the developer perspective, revenue may be a different dimension. Maybe you can talk in the performance of the application or added features. Revenue will be spoken by the owner, whereas the developer will talk about the performance or NFR, non-functional requirements, right? That may come there, but that's fine. You gave it right. Good, it's a good shot there. Atul, as a bank customer, all financial transactions should go through secure server system so that customer will have secure transaction. Well, Dheeraj is putting a big statement here. As a payment gateway manager, we went to gateway manager. I want all the financial transactions to be handled the secure system so that all financial transactions be secure, gain more end user confidence. Fantastic, people. Thanks a lot. Did you feel a little confident after writing this? Did you feel it? Anybody say yes? I felt good writing it. Yeah, that's very important. Thanks for trying it out. I know we are not seeing the right or wrong here, but that's fine. We made a shot here. Atul is saying a second, I couldn't understand. System needs to allow reports to run on membership trends, including age and location demographics. I think there is a reporting we're looking into, right? Membership trends, man. Zoom has membership. Facebook has membership, right? Now you want to see the trends of people coming and using the system by age and location. This will help you to make a good pitching for your business. Amazon does it, right? They have big data analysis. You keep clicking for a certain t-shirt for 2 weeks. Third week, once you log into Amazon, automatically they start showing some t-shirts for you. The reason is they do the trend analysis, right? That's what they're trying to do. It's a reporting system. Yeah, you can write story for that also. Well, good. I try to put certain things so that your brain start thinking. And also, I want you to try this, how it works. Well, good. Now all set to go for a good shot on a workshop. Shall we do a workshop a little on a sample project? I'm not trying to put a complicated, I'm going to put a lightweight project. So Rahul is going to help us. He'll be sharing some links the moment I flag it into two groups. I'm going to divide into two groups. Please set your cam on if you're good. I'm always using the word if you are good. By that, I'm giving some buffer to you. Okay. Okay, get on the cam. Let's see each other. Say hi before we go to the workshop. I'm putting in the gallery view.
Everyone.
All ready? Yeah, almost all ready. I know I gave 1 hour time to make it up and get ready for yourself. I didn't ask you to come early so that you all good. Okay. We prefer face-to-face communication. I know I'm repeating it multiple times. Face-to-face is the best way of communication. So get yourself, be available on the cam to talk, right? That's the first option. Worst case, I don't have a cam. I would like to on the cam. That's fine. But be there. It's useful. Now, what are you going to do? We're going to divide this team into two. When I say divide, you may go for 8 or 7 people as a team. And this team has to work on a project. I'll be showing the project. In this project, no calculation, nothing. In this project, as an agile leader, as a team member, I want you to see 3 things. What can be called as epics? What can be called as features? What can be called as a user story? 3 simple things you have to do. Okay, this may take 15 to 20 minutes. Writing is one part, but primarily I want you to think on dimension of the thought process. The discussion is very important. Some of you already working in a Scrum team, some of you working in an Agile team already, right? So bring out that knowledge. I'll come back to the same point which I started in the class. Respect for people is very important, right? No one is bigger here. No one is smaller here. With this mindset, we have to start the discussion, right? Since I know certificate a little earlier, it doesn't mean that I know everything in the world. I may not know something which you know. So we have to respect each other at the equal strength. And we have to start talking. That's very important. Discussion is very important in Agile. That is the reason sometimes beyond the boundaries, I press you to come on the camp. I know it's bad, but I do that. The reason is face to face is very important, right? We are talking about it. So there's a 7 or 8 member team going to talk about how this project can be considered as epics, features, user stories. And I'll ask you to write some stories also. Let me show some sample, not sample, the screen which you have to work. Here it goes. Here is a project. I got a very simple project. Hope you see the screen. It's a Explore Blue Planet is a project name. It's a project for a travel application. It could be a web, it could be a mobile. Timeline, it's going to be 3 months of time. Cost is going to be around $75,000. Users can be end user, travel agent, or the stakeholders. The application will support to view, plan, book, travel for 2 years in advance. Putting pandemic in situation, we made it 2 years in advance. Okay. This will be a web application and a mobile application should be hosted in a cloud environment. I'm assuming most of you from IT industry in this group. If also not in IT industry, travel app is a common app these days. Everybody know how it works a little bit. Assuming you are a little bit in IT, even non-IT, you will have this app in mind. You have to think, what is a big piece, moderate piece, small piece, right? When you go to that, I have written you something which you have to think before you write your epics, features, and stories, right? You have to read that because I have given 2 teams. Each team had a different description. Oops, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm going to bring it here. Yeah. If another team, the same project, but slightly I'll give a scenario for you. Each team will have a scenario. In this project, your scenario is preparing a shopping cart experience by selecting the plans. Team 1, in this project, you have to work out on view plans for all the events available in the world. This is the stuff. I'm not asking to do the full project. In that project, one portion, right? You may consider this portion itself as an epic, up to you. Or you feel something different as an epic, you can do that, right? So I want you to get an idea what is epic, what is features, what is stories. How do you do that? I have put a table here, epics, features, and stories. If I can bring a couple of stories here, I'm so happy. So I have a couple of epics, a couple of features on the epics, and some stories. Is it doable? Is it doable? Are you comfortable doing this? Are we ready for it? Okay. Okay, I'm getting a couple of yes in the chat window. I'm also seeing some of you saying, okay, let me do this. Let me give a try. What's wrong? Huh? What will happen? Huh? Nothing will happen. Let's do it. Okay, here there is no right, there is no wrong. But I want to start thinking in this dimension. Okay, I know I have a young agile coach standing next to Atul, but Atul don't want him to be there. Atul, let your son also join and learn the session. Happy to do that. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to divide the theme into 2. It has a random division. It will divide into split into 2. It's called breakout. We'll do that. And you have to go to the group. Don't start writing immediately. Somebody take a role of Scrum Master in this group. Okay. Somebody, you can decide. I'll be a Scrum Master. What I mean by Scrum Master is I'm going to set a time of 15 minutes for this team. So you have to be a time watcher. You have to watch out on the collaboration, what's happening. You will be helping team members who can talk, what they can do. It will be a facilitator, right? So each team, decide yourself who has to be a Scrum Master and you play the role. And bring up a screen. The Scrum Master will bring this screen, share the screen. In the screen, you will start the discussion, right? Shall we do that? All set? Well, let's go. Already there comes breakout. 2 rooms. I'm going to put 8, 9, 20%. Well, good. You have a time of 15 minutes. 15 minutes is a quite good time. You can talk, you can do it. Please do more discussion. You're all set. All the best. Do the job. Hani, you're joining the group. Are you able to join? Welcome back. Okay, good. Good to see you all coming back. Good to see you all coming back. Fantastic. Okay, how was the operation? Were you actively involved? Was it a good work? Did you got something out of it?
It was very quite interactive. So
Okay.
most of the
First, Scrum Master Atul is going on. Yes, Scrum Master, please go ahead. What happened there?
most of the people were interactive. Initially, there was some ice breaking needed, but it goes on.
Okay. Okay, maybe you could have said that who speaks first will get a $10 Amazon coupon.
Yeah.
It's okay. First time we're meeting, right? The possibilities expected. Okay, after the discussion, how things moved on, Atul? In the sense, was it a constructive discussion happened to find out epics, features?
Yeah, constructive discussion happened, but see, what I feel is a lot of inputs thanks to the each and every member. There are a lot of ideas, but within the time constraint, we couldn't fit out them all. So due
I
to
like
time
it.
pressure, we have restricted our ideas in one way. But
Okay,
within time, this is what we could have done at the max.
right. I like the word, the time. Rather using the word pressure, I'll tell within the time bound. We call as a time boxing. With this a time boxing, what is the best you can do? Of course, if you give time to me, I can take this ACP class a whole day, but you will run away. I can take a class from morning 7 to evening 7. I can talk all subject. There is a time box. Within this 2.5 hours, what best you can give? You have to talk about the topic. I have to show videos. I have to show some questions. I do workshop. 4 key items I can do. Beyond this, you will get diluted. I will get diluted. So Atul, what he said, absolutely right. The team worked out. By the way, from the team of Atul there, what is the input there? I know there is not much information in the screen. What I gave is a blank project, a couple of lines, but still you were able to bring something out of it. So was there any interesting stuff happened in that team? If anybody want to share? I was hearing from Riti, Lakshmi, and I was talking, Dheeraj was there. So anything interesting happened there?
Interesting, you mean what exactly?
Now, what I mean is certain topics when you talk about like feature or epics, there could be a situation where you cannot consider this as a feature. Somebody will tell that, no, it's not a feature, it could be a story. Or somebody will tell that, no, that's not a big piece of work, it could be a small piece of work, right? So that thought process, how it happened, then I want to understand from you, if anything happened in the team. Or it was easy.
We shuffled around epics and features first.
Okay.
Feature stories are clear because these
Okay.
are the detailed one, but we moved some features to epics, some epics to the features.
Okay. So that shuffling happened between the epics and feature. Okay. Sometimes it clashes between the user story and the stuff. We'll know which is story. Which is...
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good.
My point of view, I think Atul is right. Where we wanted to define the epics, so we mixed up some of the epics and the features actually. So like a very close thing. Then later we moved from epics to features and features. Yeah, but finally it was good. So yeah.
Right, Prabhakar. Prabhakar, what's the problem is? Problem is from my side. I should have given only project at the higher level and asked you to put it epics. What I did is I gave a project, under that I gave a task also. So the task itself looked like an epic. When the task is like an epic, from there you can bring epic is so tough for you. Anyway, I was just trying to see how your brain is thinking. Good job
But
there.
it's good exercise, Shriram. Yeah, good learning actually. So yeah.
Well good. Happy to know that. Good learning. Thanks a lot for the efforts. Now let's go to another team. Akshay is already interested to share some data. Yes, Akshay. What happened there? Timing was good. How
Timing
you guys
was good. Yeah. So we are meeting first time in the this group out. So we first interacted, like introduced each other first, and then it was like icebreaker, and then we like started to understand what was.
Your volume is a bit low, Akshay.
Am I audible, right? Sorry.
Yeah, you're audible. Yeah, now it's good.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So we firstly introduced with each other as a team, and then we started with understanding what is the exact problem statement.
Okay.
Then we started like listing down epics, features, and stories. So it was like collaborative efforts.
Got it.
Everyone was like sharing thoughts, and
Makes
accordingly we
sense.
decide on.
Makes sense. Fantastic. So tell me one problem area.
Problem area in the sense,
Dividing epic into features.
yeah. So last topic was like we had to estimate the stories. So we
Okay.
initially estimated the like last latter part of the story, like
Okay.
the features
Got
which are like not required right now.
got it, Akshay. Thanks. Thanks for that. Good. So anybody from the team want to add some points? Prithvi or who we have? Sumit. Somebody want to add some points? Anything happened there?
It went out very smoothly actually. So we gave priority for the safety, and everybody contributed well actually. So
Okay.
yeah.
Sounds pretty good. Fantastic. I know it's not a full project work here, but still I thought of putting some seed on your brain where you can go back and open the books. Any workshop will not give you 100% learning. A workshop is meant to see what I can read in the books going forward, what I have to give little more focus. Some of you doing this activity already in your corporate, maybe doing it, but unintentionally be doing it. Now you will do with intention. Oh, this is how it works. Let me see that more. But again, one thing to understand Agile, there is no term called right, no term called wrong. It's all pure team's acceptance. This is a model they want to do, they can decide it. But certain principles are there which we follow. Chances are we can be close to the success. In every world statement of any principle, if you go to PMP, Prince2, Agile, Safe, nobody says that exactly follow this line. They all tell that these are the principles available. Try this. It may fit in for you, right? That's a message. So now what happened in this weekend, over the weekend, 2 days, we have spent time learning what is ACP first of all, and where it fit in under the umbrella called Agile. We learned that because under the umbrella of Agile, we have 4 manifesto, 12 principles. We also know that there is something called Scrum, a methodology, Kanban, a methodology, XP as a methodology. Now ACP covers all this stuff. Will it talk Scrum fully? No. It will give an idea about what is Scrum. Will it talk XP fully? No. It will talk what is XP. Now, when you complete this ACP program, when you walk on the field, when you walk on your corporate, you are a person who is called as Agile leader, Agile coach, Agile team leader. You can call yourself. You can be a Scrum Master also. But you will have an idea of a lean management, how to reduce the wastage, ideal time, cycle time, right? Likely time. You talk about something called a Kanban. You talk about something called XP, Scrum. You talk about a lot of factors, estimation techniques, how to handle people in an agile team, how to handle a project in an agile way. These are the terms which you're going to learn. So this can be a pitch in for your growth, like appraisal or your promotion. It can be a pitch in front of a customer to win a business. Not everybody in this room want a promotion or a job. You want to be efficient on your job. That can happen. When you're efficient on a job, automatically appraisal happens, right? I don't want to go towards appraisal. It comes out of towards me. It is because when you show a performance in your work, what you do. So multiple ways of learning here. So what we learned in the 2 days, that's what we learned. What I did is I took over a chapter called adaptive planning, which is the 5th chapter in this book. Hey, Shriram, why you went to 5th chapter? You should start from 1. Now, what I thought is I want to give a punch for you to learn what is the core in this subject. Once you get the punch of this, now I can talk about principles, policies, it will sit with you. I don't want to kill you with the principles and policies for 2, 3 days, rather talking how it works. Because I know the mindset. When I buy a new mobile phone, I'll take it, put the SIM card, want to speak immediately. I will read the manual later. But usually when you go from American model style, Americans will ask first to read the manual fully, then open the mobile. I come from the world, first open the mobile, read the manual later. Okay, it's a mix of things. So I want to balance both of you. So I first open the mobile and show how it works. Now we have to go and see the principles also. So coming classes, I would complete this chapter first, understand the principles because, sorry, understand the estimation techniques. I have to talk about Fibonacci series. I have to talk about t-shirt sizing, right? I should give you some game to do that work. Some more factors are coming up. Once I do that, then we will jump to the process of learning other factors. That is on Scrum, Kanban, XP, all will explain it. This is what's going to happen. And today I don't play a game. There's one game is there which talks about answering some questions in a game format. As the time is on the top, I'm not doing that now. We will do that from next week onwards. You will have questions and game going to happen. Now stopping here, you will get assignments. When you write the assignments, click a picture, put in the WhatsApp. It's two-way benefit. One, you get the commitment that you have to do every day. Two, somebody looking that getting inspired, they will also do. But only thing is, little hard is your handwriting will look crazy for yourself. You have to accept it. After a long time opening your paper and writing is, you start from here, it will go to different angle. Okay, so you're going to try that. I have given some paper to write, I mean the work. Today, tonight or tomorrow, I will give you some more content to write. You are going to write this for at least 2 weeks of timeline. When you write it 2 weeks every day, this is going to stay with you lifelong. We are going to work on your subconscious mind. Whenever someone comes to my classes, I don't work for a conscious mind. I work for subconscious mind, where you have your basic discipline, character, consistency. When you go to the market, you be a better person, not by technical knowledge, by a right human being. They have to prefer the right. That's a leader whom I want, right? But to bring that habit, we need to start writing every day. So kindly start following this writing habit. Stay in the WhatsApp group, see the picture, download it in your laptop, see that and write it once a day. It will take 15 minutes max, but the benefit is exponential. It's going to be so big. By the way, let me put a full stop here. How the session went on? Did you got some information the last 2 days? Was it good?
Yeah, it was really good.
Really good. Fantastic. Happy to know. You can tell some suggestions also. From next week, I'll start opening a suggestion board. For today, any inputs which I can take on, which can be added for next week's session, I would be happy to take on. Maybe coffee can be provided. If it's in a hotel session, we do that. Unfortunately, with the COVID, we all stuck at camera. I don't generally prefer camera. I'll go in front of people. I'm a people guy. I know sometimes you keep pushing, come on the camera. I'm a people guy. I want to see you. I want you to see me. It's very important, right? That's good. Okay, well, good. Suggestions you can put in the chat window. You can put into us also. Since it's the first 2 days, there'll be a little up and down, timeline, other factors. Slowly it'll settle down. Then we'll get into sprint mode. We'll do properly, right? Right, great. And thanks for being here. And any questions, reach out to me in the WhatsApp or you can mail me. Our team is here. Rahul is helping here, right? So with this, we'll come to the end of this program. And I want you to start working out on the assignments, reading habits. You're going to read the book called Mike Griffith book or Agile Practice Guide from PMI-ACP. The books are shared for the registered people here and also assignments will be given to you. Just follow this. Within few weeks, your name will be suffixed with a certificate called ACP. If somebody got PMP recently, you got 2 certificates with PMI. Akshay can smile now. Ah, man, 2 certificates. Yeah, 2 things coming up. Anything from PMI is a brand, like a Harvard University. It's a brand. Okay. You all like brand shoes, brand t-shirts, right? So same way, brand is brand. I too have CSM with me. I too have SAFE with me. I know that, but PMI the level is something high. You can't touch it, right? You'll feel the greatness. Okay, thanks for being here and appreciate the time. Sorry, Prithvi.
Quick question. So in terms of reading the textbook,
Yes.
how we need to prepare? I mean, is this like a chapter wise? We need to finish like few chapters before we come to the next session?
Good question. So now, reading factor. You may not need to prepare anything before you come to the class. You can come free because in the class we'll go step by step slowly, which you can learn automatically. To address that question immediately, nothing to read and come to the class. You can be free. But post the class, you can flip some pages from the Mike Griffith book. Open the Mike Griffith book. There are 7 domains in that. 7 chapters will be there. Start from the chapter 1 or start from any chapter you like. There is no order there. But I would ask you to flip at least 4 to 5 pages per day or per week. Do that for some time, right? So if you start reading that, within a month of time, you will be done with your book. So that you will get a right time to complete the exam. It's August 2 now. By August 31st, you'll be done with your book. September 1st week, I'll ask you to do 2 practice exams. Each practice exam, 120 questions. 2 you practice. Show me 73+% in that exam. Enough. 3rd exam is your main exam, close to ACP, right? So quick answer is Nothing to read. You can come free mind. We will learn with the workshop. Are you feeling comfortable learning here? Are you getting the knowledge?
Yeah.
It goes a bit smooth. There won't be any push. You get a rhythmic way of learning. Slowly to get inside, right? Let's do that way. I don't want anything to read. Come back free. But have a habit of reading and completing the book within a month of time. A pretty decent time. For that, you have to get a study plan. Study plan, if you share your date when you want to go for exam, we will prepare a study plan. In the coming week of timeline, Rahul and Sachin, our executives, will reach you over WhatsApp and ask you what is your exam date. Now, Mahesh says that I want to go September 10 is my exam. If September 10 is an exam, from August 3 till September 9, what all you have to read, in what order you have to read, I will give a worksheet. That you can just copy, put it on a wallpaper or in a wall, start following it. That will help you. Helps you, Prithvi, now?
Yeah, thanks, Shriram.
Fantastic. I know I shooted like 15 minutes extra. People staying late in the night. Thanks. People got up early in the morning. Thanks. People in India got up very early by 7 o'clock. Thanks. It's not that easy. Okay. All for being here. Thanks a lot. And we'll catch up in next week on a good session here. Great. Have a great Sunday. Thank you.
Thank you, Shriram.
Thank you, Shriram.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
Shriram.
you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.